Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Kid 90. And this is a new documentary from Soleil Moon Frye, whose career has been taking a bit of a resurgence lately as her original show that she was in as a kid, Punky Brewster's, getting rebooted with her, well, revived, I guess. It's not a reboot because she's playing herself. She is playing Punky Brewster as she's grown up, and now she releases this documentary that she directed that has her interviewing some of her peers who are her friends growing up about living this life as famous children and child stars and dealing with all the fame and what influenced their lives and the struggles that they had with this thrusting into adulthood for a bunch of young people who weren't adults but were expected to act that way and had these pressures put upon them. And what's interesting about this film is it's using all this footage that Soleil had filmed on, like, she just carried around video cameras when she was growing up, and has all these videos of her friends. She has all these diaries that she wrote in, these stories, and you get to see these scenes where she's interviewing her friends and getting their perspectives, but you also get to see these videos of them living their lives, and in these moments you see Leonardo DiCaprio, and you see Mark Paul Gosselaar from Saved by the Bell, and you get to see you have Jonathan Brandis, unfortunately, who wound up taking his own life. And you have all these videos, David Arquette, and she's interviewing these people. And you have all these moments that are so raw, and some of them are hard to watch now because what these young people were portraying and saying, why, and where their lives led them, many of them showing hints at the pain and the grief and the suffering that they were going through. And it's interesting how Fire put this all together, and you have all these different compelling aspects where you have these interviews where you get to hear their own perspectives, them interacting with her specifically as she's interviewing them, and you see these films and you get to hear her read out of her diaries. This film has some extremely poignant scenes and very moving scenes. There's one particular scene that brought me to tears because it was really hard to watch, with her putting herself out there with regards to one of her first sexual encounters. And it was very raw, and it was very just tragic in what actually happened to her. And you get a sense into her life as well, because it really is focusing on her primarily, where she talks about growing up too quickly, and where she started developing early, and men just looked at her breasts and treated her differently, and she got breast reduction surgery hoping that that would change her career, and she wound up still doing films like Pumpkinhead 2 and Piranha, and really wanting to become a real actor and taken seriously, in the struggle that she had being more than just eye candy for a lot of men. And you get that perspective. There's definitely parts in this film that lag a bit. Definitely where there's the segment of the film where she goes off to New York, which was mostly just focusing on her experiences there, and the film lost some of its more engaging aspects, which was her interviewing her friends, because basically this was a journey she went on a lot on her own. And the documentary does include some interesting scenes, especially later in the film, where she's reconnecting with all these people after years for some of them, and some of them, like the member of House of Pain that she had such a close relationship with. She had pretty intimate emotional relationships with a lot of these people, and getting to see her reconnect with them, it was really emotional. Now, in terms of a structure and the way that the story is told, there's definitely some shaky aspects of that. There's definitely some moments that are not well paced, they slow, they drag a bit. And this is like an hour and 11-minute film, so there's definitely moments where it's just like, it doesn't always come together in the most organized or fulfilling way, but there's still so much in this documentary that really makes it worth watching. And yeah, there's some moments where she's like winking vague at things, like alluding to her sleeping with Charlie Sheen and stuff like that, because I guess she's trying to not rope in specific people in that intimate way, but you're basically saying it anyway, so why not just be like open and honest about it? But in the end, I think Soleil Moon Frye did such a great job of really taking all of this great material here and in a very solid way pulling these elements together to create a film. And I would definitely recommend this. Kid 90 is on Hulu right now, and I think it's a worthwhile experience. But those are my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.